now, we are very much in the depths of Rio.
Absolutely. Watching this last time in the green room was a surreal experience, an out-of-body experience, honestly. It didn't seem like it was possible, but now Imperial are a known quantity, and they've come here with the crowd behind them, and we've seen the pressure do two things: make teams play better and play worse all at the same time. And I think, as was mentioned in the interview with Furia, it's about channeling that energy into a positive way, because it's coming no matter what.
Cloud9 looking to walk up. It's that first contact versus Cello. And we saw some amazing things from Cello already on this map, and he is the new addition, right? That's the difference between this Imperial and the one we had in Antwerp. He replaces FNX. At the RMR, to get them here, he was an absolute god on this map. Shiro to be tested. He finds those first 2 kills nice and easy with the Berettas. Fur finds an answer, but this B site is not going to go down easy whatsoever. And Cloud9, with 3 members up, just have to finish the little that's left of Cello. So the pistol goes swimmingly. C9.
C9, but it is for Imperial.
Sure. Again, you know, proving doubters wrong with that RMR run. Their road to Rio was the longest. The final spot at this major was grasped by Imperial in a 3rd map versus Complexity, overtimes on overtimes, and it just felt like that classic magic. But here we are. This is what they earned, this chance.
Fallen said he let his team down with these last few matches. Honestly, in the 9Z game, yeah, they lost, but he actually played quite well on an individual level. Maybe as a caller, he didn't feel like he was that lucid, but there's always time for that to change. And I'm really curious about the CT side when we swap over to talk more about how Imperial staged the victory last time, because I think that's where the magic happened.
And that is kind of where their little bits of comebacks have also occurred so far yesterday, right? It's these questionable T-sides that Kassad and Yanko brought up prior to this one going live, and then, yeah, the defense gives them a little something more to be proud of, but we need to see some early success, and we don't get any in this round. It's burnt down to 25 seconds, and Cloud9 with the appropriate read have 3 players already inside this site. Smoke goes forward onto the front side of it. That could create some cover for Short, but Inters peeks first. Hobbit up next, cut down by Fur. Nice shot from Shiro onto Short though, and we're gonna stay at the even keel with 8 seconds left. A jump up gets denied. Fallen has to plant. Oh damn, that comes close, but he gets it down and Shiro finds Vinny. It falls on Fallen. He finds a little damage, but neither frag, and it's C9 for the 4-0 start.
Shiro has a magnet, and it is a strong one. How fast these flicks are, it's so precise. He hit every single kind of shot in the last 2 games that they played here at the Challenger stage, and it looks like today he's not missing as well. That beautiful adjustment to the top of the box on top of this opening defense on the Short player, and it just feels like Shiro.
Success, because when we go back to Antwerp and that series that Imperial win, Fur finishes it at the top. And I think it's safe to say that since then we've seen this departure of Fur's performance. What a time to come alive this would be.
And that is a consistent theme as well. When you talked about Fallen and how the magic happened on the CT side comeback, well, it was like he had something like 8 kills going into half number 2, and then he got an ace in the 4th quarter. He put together so many op highlights, and it seemed to come out of thin air.
Pack mentality here from Imperial. CT spotted and Axile exits. For a moment, he's alone, but Shiro's going to use that as an immediate call to reinforce this A site. And he also rotates up alongside Nafany. So from the 4-man B stack to the 3A setup, and Axile presses in closer.
I like to call this a pendulum attack on the A site, where you just keep one straggler watching the stairs rotation up, and then you put a ton of pressure on long. And if you can get that up off the angle and you can scale it, you have a very good A attack. The Bathrooms players, as long as we have Vinny play it slow enough, is going to put his team in a very powerful position. Let's see if Shiro is going to be aware.
Ooh, playing around with nades, but not pressured within that moment. Volley on his feet though, down to half health. But Shiro doesn't give a damn. He's going to keep it ice cold. Cello finds the kill off fire. Nafany still pressed forward, and all of a sudden Hobbit looks to slide in. He's got both. Inside that front sight, destroys the hopes of at least Fallen and Cello, but here comes Bolts into the 1v2. Only 12 seconds left to work with. He needs to catch both these kills. He will not be given a chance to plant. Bolts finds the up-close one first, and now he does have a moment to himself. Inters opts not to rush. He waits, and that bomb goes down. Bolts on half health. Dead as he jumps. Inters snips him.
Clear as day. That Fallen was making callouts specifically.
Ooh, missed shots from Inters. Gives Cello, oh, a second chance. He slams nafany back down into the water, but short still occupied by Shiro. Hobbit picks up the kill as well. And so, all of a sudden, Imperial have to double back. It's 2 entries to Cello's name, but no follow through from the Brazilians. We've got Fur occupying this deep corner. Hobbit's walking in, and if he doesn't check that, he's a dead man walking. Sure enough, Fur misses the first shots, but recovers. And now we're talking double man advantage of 4 versus 2, what seems like the best chance for Imperial's first round win.
No, there's 2 players on islands right now. That's middle of the map control, conceded from the CT side with a player. And this allows for the walkout to take place, and Fur can let him know no one's coming short.
Ooh, Exile slides down, not spotted from heaven. Shiro holds his angles, loses his support, and now has everything to do. A little bit of chip damage. He's out in the open, floating, and being given a chance to leave. Short peek, stopped. Fallen in bolts, and Shiro. Oh, that nade's hefty. So with that, yeah, he's gone. We've got Imperial on the scoreboard. Cello, shout out those 2 kills. It's what got the ball rolling. And then, of course, there's that turning point that could have been Hobbit versus Fur.
Yeah, Shiro is a demon right now, 12-3 with the kills that he's picking up. But it's all about Fur's patience. They read the rotation that Hobbit wants to pull off in the mid-round. Again, preparation, preparation, preparation. You can see he's playing with very little vision, right? He's not peeking into the bottom of the door, covering angles, holding, being very greedy. Instead, he's holding for one specific option, and it pays off. And with wins like that, that's how you...
Space here. Imperial kind of stalled out on putting out that Molotov, so they're going to play it patient. They anticipate Exile walking in. Check this angle from Fur. He sees it. He's got the damage in, but the spray gets a little wild. And Fur ends up taking more damage in that engagement. We've got this deep spot from Cello, though, and Exile is very much stuck inside playground. He's been completely abandoned. Hobbit doubles back all the way from long. And Cello, he's just been waiting. He'll continue to wait. Oh, that flash. Perfect. Hobbit gets back in, at least into a spot to enable Exile's exit, and even though he dies 1 for 1, at least Hobbit's nowhere there, can't be traded back, and it's a 4 versus 4 with health advantage, Cloud9.
Yeah, it was like some kind of pseudo-containment there, like Cloud9 left him, but they allowed for a flash assist to get on the board. Give him a chance, Shiro, ooh, bottom left corner of the scope, it's a bit too far away.
Bolt's just sliding through with that one. Inter's interesting position. nafany with the FAMAS. 2 lesser rifles here versus the majority of Imperial, but remember, early damage could be big. Inter's unknown. He's got a chance. Strikes down the plant, but Vinny's got the double. And Hobbit yet again working through connector, falls to... What do we have here?
Interesting, because anti-ecos end up leaning towards long, so this is prep going the other way. Same principle applies to dust 2 long, keeping long angles, lessening the choke points and crossfires available to the CT side, and this can be a counter to it. So if Imperial try to feel out the map a little bit too long, we know how big overpass can feel. The irony is if you just show no presence, then the Ts can go slower and kill themselves on the clock. We know that's actually a problem for Imperial on some rounds. We'll see if this idea comes to fruition. Now, the counter to this, of course, is a scout. But with the guns that they have, knowing that it's a full eco from Cloud9, is that something that they want to participate in? We'll soon find out. But it looks like they're going to avoid danger entirely and hit a wide open B site.
Zero presence here to stop them. As wild as it does look, of course, Fnatic pulling off some wild antics just like this yesterday. 4-player beast stack on Inferno.
Yeah, that was...
You know, it is a dime, you know, it's not often, but you can get lucky.
No, there was a lot of ingenuity in that. I hadn't seen anybody do a stack like that with so many players in the B side of Inferno if you missed it.
And Inferno's going to clean it up.
Actually are greater. They actually are.
Shiro blinded, nice flash. That's going to give Vinny a real chance. He just skates through bathrooms, catches Exile, but Shiro is still in a playmaker's position. And he hunts. But they've gone long instead. Support inside the bomb site in the form of Nafany.
The novelty of that position where he was getting a lot of information might wear out, and he's actually got to recede into a more regular one.
Ooh, Nafany just slammed by Vinny. Nice entries from Vinny, but Shiro, oh, that second shot could have been, but isn't. And we're already starting to get this repeat performance where Shiro's offering kills and nobody around him can put up those frags, so Imperial capitalize and take a fourth to the scoreboard.
Oh, man. Yeah. 2 maps in a row, and if it's going to be 3, I don't know what to tell the kid to make him feel better. That's a lot to stomach. It's a team game, but when you look at 35 kills, 37 kills on a map, in a game like Counter-Strike where the individual does get opportunities to shine, and that isn't always the case in other FPS titles, it is something that has to be considered. You can't blame Shiro for what's happened to Cloud9 so far.
You know, we go back to that story of Cloud9 as Inters tries to save, you know, this demon that does kind of exist over top of them. Well, Dallas, they picked up a victory. The first time they've ever had a crowd that was...
There we have an exec at the 45-second mark. And again, not letting Cloud9 react.
Ooh, through Monster. Cello presses in. Flash finds its mark, but Inters slides out and will deny Cello any opening kill. Hobbit saved by his teammate. Imperial on a back foot yet again. Talk about the faster nature of that last round. That's, again, as you alluded to, where Imperial started this map, right? Testing C9, getting the reaction quick, getting those utilities burnt. But look at the grenades C9 sit on here, round 14, and it's nades in abundance.
Yeah, Imperial seem happy to see if they can make it a 4v4 as soon as possible.
Nice smoke comes down from the A site, so supportive utility. One of the strengths of Overpass, whether you like the map or not, is that wide open skybox.
Listen, I don't like the map, I respect it. Okay.
Final few pieces being exchanged here from Imperial. It is going to be the follow through on the B site. They Molotov what has been an often occupied spot. Bolt's worried about the flank, but it's just a clean stack from Cloud9.
4/5 of the team here waiting once again for the T's to come in.
It's going to be guns a-blazing from both ends. Flash buying just a little shy, in fact. Oh, and Vinny taps it in, but Nafany on short's got another double, and Inters right into the mix with Shiro on support. It's C9 to take an 8.
Yeah, there weren't that many clues for Imperial, and they wanted to go forward with this B exec, but we've got Cloud9 doing such a good job of overstressing the importance of holding on to monster control. And we see here, when they decide to leave it, it's because they've actually called over.
Rewarded for this. It's a late rotate from Nafany. 2 members of C9 all the way down long, so round 15, and it's a bit of a Hail Mary. He will lose Fur as he tries to engage towards long. So a retake needed here from C9, but massive weapon advantage. Utilities again on their belt and ready to be used. There's a chance that this bathroom duel goes down the way of Imperial, and that would suddenly take a ton of pressure off of the flank, but it doesn't work out for Bolts. Fallen's in the pocket, the only kill so far, and he hits another dink, setting up Vinny for what would be an unbelievable, near impossible 1 versus 4. The defuse being stuck, and with that, C9 take their 9th to end this first half. Imperial have a foundation.
9 rounds is a blessing. It came very close to being an 8-7 split, but they made it happen. They keep a meter stick between them and their opponents, but now they're looking for a pistol.
Oh, poor Hobbit, blind, but so is Bolts. That flash finding both fronts of the fight. Axile pressing into the pillar. It's nice to see that the members of Cloud9 are fragging around Shiro. It's not that one-man army. Cello, 3 kills. As he finally comes around the side of wood, Inters struggles, and Fallen with Vinny gonna find second pistol to the Brazilian side.
I guess that's why we could call him instrumental. Really nicely done there from Cello on the hold. And this makes things very, very interesting. So, Cloud9, when it comes to playing against them, the single biggest and most important thing you can do is call out their empty utility. You know, they get criticized a lot for having a low amount of flash assists, and we'll talk about then. But for now, just Overpass would be a big deal.
Oh, Fur He's got Fallen right behind him. And when you see Fur get kind of gunned down by that rapid playground push, that's one thing. Fallen, whoa, lucky to be alive. Cello's down inside connector. I can't believe he escapes that spray. Shiro gets the damage, but not the trade. And Cello, this could be a huge position. The playground player actually falls back from C9, so it's gonna be numbers towards that B site, but guess what? That's where Vinny's comfortable. That's where Bolts will hold. And they lay down that smoke at the near minute mark. Create a little ambiguity. Axile, he's gonna test this. He's already ahead of it. And the MP9 goes down. It's little bits of health left. Bolts gets the better of it. Hobbit finds the trade, and Cello's right there too. It's back and forth, and it's Shiro left up.
He's good for a clutch.
He's moving because of nades. He dodges the bombardment. And Imperial now have question marks above their heads. How and where has Shiro gotten off to?
With 35 seconds, you know he's taking this incredibly seriously. He has the health to do it. He knows where the last two players are. But can he put together enough pieces to make this puzzle fit?
He's keeping himself low, down at the ground. He gets away from Fallen's eyes. Cello spotted on short side. Shiro, does he re-engage or go elsewhere? He waits, he waits, he waits, he peeks, and he dies!
Preparing the short exec.
Couple flashbangs pop.
Bolted Vinny to hold.
Front. Bolt's blind. Nafany tries to hone in, but it's Vinny to fight first. Sees that right side peek. There's a player climbing barrels, and Bolts deals with that one swiftly, but then gets wrecked by Axile. That Tech-9 dry. Vinny continues to kill, and this half-buy goes down smooth.
Clock here for Cloud9, but they've got Imperial a little bit scared. The way that first kill went down, I'm sure Vinny didn't have nice things to say about losing that bit of map control, handing over an AK. So we'll see. Fallen is going to go through with a jump spot. Listen, in CS, jump spotting is the safest way to get the most amount of information, but it doesn't mean you can't die.
Such little HP. And Fallen's going to play it safe. Fire on the site. That shouldn't stop Plant. It's the third player in who will be preoccupied with bomb. Hobbit continues on closer towards the bank. And even though it's low health, you know, Fallen's still playing this safe. He's just got the USP, so he's a little bit timid. A Tech-9 that keeps coming at him. It's that killer instinct from Hobbit finally shut down. Fur finds the kill, and now that retake can get rolling. AK's exchanged hands. It's found its way into the palms of Shiro, and he's got to read this situation. Oh, it's fast! Fettered, but we've got Cello now. Cello could be this crazy X factor as he was last time on Overpass. The one piece, the one newest piece added to the Imperial formula. You know, we see this 0-0 Nation project, as Maui Snake put it on the desk earlier today, right? This isn't a last dance when it comes to 0-0 Nation. They take the best stars from different parts of South America and try to make it work. They're meant to be the best in the region. Imperial, they're riding the wave. And they all know, they recognize it's towards the end. But Fallen, he's up first.
Yeah.
He's at the front, and he snaps it down on Nafany. So a slight difference here with that boost on long. They allow for Cloud9 to slide into the presence. Hobbit nearly catching a kill, but in fact, he gets shot down to 39. And Hobbit, he will catch Fur in the end, but Fallen's got a second. And Fallen on this A site does wonderful things, but he's died alongside Fur. Again, it falls to Cello. 7 points of health. That fire's got his name all over it, and it's a great recovery from Cloud9. They burn him out of the corner, and they burn their 11th straight to the scoreboard.
Wow, they actually make that happen. The two players dead on the site. Rotators are only left, and it's beautiful from Cloud9 the way they worked that out. Axile, man, the nerve of him to run through that gob smoke outside of Divider and just try to get this kill. Fallen was continuously causing problems with his first 2 frags, so they had to fight, and they earned that. And it's 2 kind of stylistically similar rounds for Cloud9 to make it a streak, and this saves the economy. It allows for Shiro to maybe be able to lose a round and still afford his op in the future. It's an enormous victory here in the final quarter of the game. Now we look at fine margins, but all of Cloud9 waiting with the nade out. Vinny with the first spray, it's good. He's looking for a second. Axile falls into the fire. He gets his frag. He gets some information on a second player here in Cello. He has been so aware on the rotation, but he gets tagged through the mid. Inside the connector, Shiro on the hunt, and he gets the kill as well.
That's an exit strat. That's a way away. They can leave. And for a second, it felt like maybe things get too hot, but they hold. Ooh, this one, folks, the 25th. Fallen.
Jesus.
He saw it.
Yeah, but it's information. Pass coming up to the 30-second mark. One player quietly walking down into the B site. It's not feeling like a fake. Everybody is here.
Bolt's just fully exposed, and yet he holds, but Shiro, you know he's gonna trade. We've got 20 seconds to the clock. It's him and Inters trying to press in, but Fallen locks down Pillar yet again. Shiro, Fur is staring at this position. It's an easy double headshot for the M4A1S, and Imperial continue winning ways.
Information is king once again, and that little jump spot was enough to imbue his team with the confidence to sit stalwart in their spots and wait for the attack they knew was coming. It looked very scary as con control was taken over by Cloud9, but outside of that, the numbers were still high here for Imperial, and they were in good spots, similar to how Cloud9 were on their CT side, calling out almost all of the rounds where Imperial wanted to attack that half of the map. You gotta love Cello.
Now, of course, the trajectory tells them first press close, so his position very well known. Everybody from C9 is going to be coming around that corner and hunting for Fur. Down he goes. He brings Hobbit with him. It's a Fallen 1-for-1. And now the 3v3. 10 seconds. And Imperial comes sprinting up from that B site. 2 from spawn, 1 on connector, and Bolts can't find that wallbang damage. No, sir. Not yet. C9 sitting in the swamp of this site.
Ooh, and they haven't gone back for bathroom patrol because they're worried about a fast flank. Vinny's trying to play this as slow as possible.
There is 1 flashbang left on Vinny.
It's not an ideal post plant.
Shiro's in the open, looking for the fight. He too on a rifle. Cello picks it up, and who's gonna trade sufficiently enough? Axile's got it for now. Bolt slides in. Vinny's got his frag, but Axile's here with another. Now's his chance to shine. Now, right here. And as Vinny closes that gap, time is of the essence.
Never believe Fallen when he's being humble.
Yeah, right. And Fur, what is this?
Oh my God, he's already. This is the fur I was talking about. This is the fur that is on your, just behind you.
There's more than 1 kill to be had here.
It's a minute 30. He's on the steps.
Oh, he gets 1. But Nafany's there to trade. If Nafany's stuck inside playground, then Fur has a chance to reset. But with both T's right there in the doorway, what could have been is not. And all the while, we didn't get to catch it, but Hobbit found Cello.
Yeah, just a standard spray through the smoke, somebody refreshing it. Sometimes with the deep monster smoke, of course, you actually have to have a really good view to watch it. It's really important that you smoke at the back end of the tunnel. The rushes are too strong, but oh my God, the spray comes through. It's actually a bait. There's a foot there. Poor Vinny. There's not really much he can do about that. Nafany's not planning it, but he does capitalize.
Bolts. Now he's going to have to go massive. There's already a player sliding out from Monster. Axile gets the better through the wall bang, and this is a nice clean round from Cloud9.
Yeah.
The real problematic situation, it's Fur deep on playground. That could have been the 2, that could have been the flank compromise, but C9 follow through with that opening kill on Cello, and Easy does it in OT.
Yeah, so once again, you know, if you smoke the side of Monster that's closest to you, then you allow for pop flashes and rushes to come through that are very powerful. But since teams have smoked deep, it both allows you to have more control as a CT, but also puts you at risk since you have to have vision to be able to watch it sometimes. Sometimes people float in front of it in case they still try to pop and flashes go overhead. There's lots of reasons that a team and players on their, while they're defaulting outside of Monster, will just spam relentlessly throughout the round because there is a high probability you get damage or a kill. So that is the Achilles heel of an otherwise kind of very powerful smoke that has become meta in the last few years. So, all right, and with that, it kind of, it compounds the pressure, right? Because Fur going for getting 1 kill and getting traded out, that actually could be okay.
To find impact. Everything goes well for C9 in the first of OT.
There it is, that spray again. It goes back, though. The thing is, Hobbit, he's happy to participate, right? I mean, if he gets equal damage, this is only going to lean towards the T favor. He'll happily sacrifice himself for 1 kill. Make those rotations a little bit more difficult.
It would have been a shame had he died. He was one of the 2 full belts of utility, so with 11 health, he just empties his grenades into Axile instead.
Vanilla state of affairs here on the A site. Fallen pressing up to help Fur, and we haven't had that kind of setup outside of Divider with Fallen in the back and standard kills coming. It's always been Cloud9 finding a tricky way to maneuver into the site and put subversive pressure on these two players.
Op fight, something Fallen didn't have when it came to round 30, and NaVi slides through that bathroom smoke. A distraction served up to the Opera. Let's see what Fur can offer. As he's thinking about going into the long fight, Shiro and Axile just stutter stepping outside bathrooms. Inters is about to walk into that crosshair, but he gets the better of Fur. It's bolts from Truck instead. Shiro slides wide, and Hobbit strikes one down at the B site. Cello, he could have gotten the trade here and then gone for the retake, but now he is stuck, pulled in two directions with such a little chance at clutching the 1v3.
Yeah, we need to take a second to talk about how beautiful that play was from NaVi. Frontside bathroom smoke, so he calls out, just like Fallen has been calling him out as well, that he's going to be holding this angle outside of bathrooms. Fallen holds it in such a way that he dodges a flash. That might have been thrown too high on purpose. NaVi comes through. It was never supposed to be Shiro to peek Fallen first, and that's an easy frag for him, and the entire site compromised. So Cello, well, look where he's found himself, up onto A, trying to find a kill if he can, maybe scoop up an op potentially for Fallen to take back, but not going to be the case this time around. And that is 2 straight in OT and 2 T rounds, no less. Yeah, they press up fast.
Ooh, Fallen.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Fallen.
Oh, head first into that. And he sees so many bodies, but man, this is so hard to react to. It's so early in the round. It means that Cloud9, they could continue forward and be successful. They could go back, and if there's an overreaction, they're successful. And you see them taking this latter option. It's a bunch of mind games happening all at once. This calls for forward.
And Inters. Oh, caught falling down a second. Fur, from down beneath, gets man advantage back in the hands of Imperial. What an awkward fight for Cloud9 to try and deal with. And he's going to try to sell this as if he's left. Not the case. He sticks around inside connector. Axile gets all the way up into the site though. Bolts gives him the real estate. Vinny's working with just an SMG up in heaven. And maybe Fur's best efforts will still all be in vain. Unless Cello comes down through Con, finishes the little that's left of Hobbit. Cello versus Hobbit, and it's Hobbit who's got it. Now Vinny, well, you're gonna need 3. The lesser weaponry, and caught as he looks to slide through a flawless OT half from Cloud9. And take into consideration, it was 7 CT rounds straight from Imperial at the start of that second half. We have seen Cloud9 winning every step of the way since.
Yes, getting better and better. It's such a wonderful sign for them, of course. Fur tries to bring this back with his push, but honestly, Hobbit has been the king of the staircase.
C9 looking to rewrite what occurred in Antwerp. Multiple overtimes leading Imperial to the map 1 win.
Unbelievable that we're watching an 0-2 game here. Last time it was the 1-2 matchup. Elimination on the line. All the same.
Easy shadow. Missed shot though.
Great shoulder peek right there. Second shot's bad.
0 for 2, hits the third, but Cello still walks away.
They're playing with fire.
Man, you give Shiro too many chances and you will pay that price. There's a second CT on long, both of which fall back. Add NaVi to the situation, and he's gonna chop down Vinny on the forefront of the bathrooms. Nobody there to trade it. And next up is that wounded Cello on 15 HP. But a long play. Fur, he gets past that initial scope of Shiro, and we have C9 getting dangerously close to the bathrooms. They want the fight, and they're trying to take it on their own damn terms. How does Shiro land that? Survives the engagement, and now it's just Fur, desperate on long. Cloud9 have managed to hang on. They've really done it. With Shiro standing tall yet again, with other players performing, it is...